The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Well, the news of the day is that Walmart is very, very strong yesterday. Looks like they're going to stay in business after all. Brick and mortar is here to stay. The most amazing thing to me, folks, besides that $450 million Da Vinci that went off the board, is that Elon Musk is coming out with a roadster Tesla that can go 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. Are you joking me? I mean, I can't believe that's just an incredible feat. The Bugatti, the fastest car up until this time, went 2.6 seconds, 0 to 60, and that car sells for $2 million. And he's going to bring it out for $225. Boy, it'll be a sale. Anyway, let's get on to the markets here. What I'd like to do is we start out with the DAX. As you can see, we had that 3 drive to a bottom pattern. Had a nice little rally, backed off just a tiny little bit, nothing really dramatic. We'll stay across the pond for just a minute because I wanted to show you the weakness in the FTSE, the UK stock market. Just get this up here. You'll see that it is much weaker than the DAX, or of course we're not weak here in the United States, but you can see we've had one heck of a sell-off, several hundred points, which is a lot in the DAX. We had the butterfly pattern form up there at that 75.50 level, and now we're down to 73.60, so it's several hundred points. That's a lot when you're trading at 7,500. The price of Bitcoin hit over $8,000 a share last night. Sometimes, I guess I heard that on the news, which is relatively interesting. But we'll move on here to go through this, folks. And we have things happen like we had in Walmart yesterday. All I want to do here is to bring up the chart just to see, you know, the patterns that we're looking at. And this is a long-term chart going back about 7 years. You'll notice that we pull back to a 78% retracement of the 2009 low, right at $56 a share. And you'll notice the yesterday this stock was trading at around 90, making a double top on the weekly, and away it went, folks. That's probably why it why people bought it, because it broke out of a weekly high from 2014. It covers that in one day. It left a slight gap, as they say in the trade. So I think it's going to have a little bit of resistance up here at this 103 level, but, we'll have to wait and see. But the pattern was certainly there, to see the stock go a lot higher. But to see a stock like Walmart that's got so many shares outstanding, I mean, my goodness, that's a 10% move. That's a really big move. So we'll watch to see what happens with that as we go through the charts that we're looking at today. One second, please. Our guest today will be Rich Anderson of Anderson Capital Management. He'll be on with us at 9:30 to go through some of the things that we're looking at. Folks, there's a real, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but the gold is actually acting pretty good, folks. You'll notice here, this is the GLD. It's held these levels very nicely. It's probably going to open right around the same level where we closed last night, but it has the possibility of the market getting ready to go higher. And as I mentioned yesterday, when we looked at that XAU chart, that is very, very important. This is that's not the one I wanted to see, because hold on a second. Let's put this up here so I can show you the mistake that I made. This is the one coming into it, and I wanted to show the 3 drive to a bottom pattern that has formed since that time, and hopefully I'll be able to do that. I think so. Can I? Yes, there we go. Hold on here. Here's what I want to see. After we broke that low, we finished a 3 drive to a bottom pattern down here, and it's held just really close to the 78% retracement of the low from July. So the gold has a chance. I believe it's a slight chance. I would give it on the order of about 50-50, but that's what it looks like. Now, the one that's still lagging the market, and believe me, this thing catch up really fast, and that's the silver market. You'll see here when you take a look at this silver. We've been in a pretty tight trading range here since May. We've been between $16 and $18. We're trading around $17, $15 right now. But if we could break above this pennant and get above $17.60, it's 50 cents in silver, $2,500. That would be one heck of a move. That would say that maybe we start going higher. The key to this is the fact that on October the 9th, we made a perfect 61% retracement off the bottom on July the 9th. So that's a very, very positive sign. But by the same token, if we start breaking below those numbers, we could be looking at much lower numbers. What this is telling us right now is that we are at a very critical level, and in both gold and silver and just about everything else on the board also. So those are the main things that we're keeping a close eye on this morning. One of the questions that someone ask us about last night on the on an email question is the Treasury bonds. I'll bring this up here to show you, where we are here in the Treasury bonds. And on this one, it's just an hourly chart because you get to see the early part of November where we had that 3 drive to a top pattern up at that 54, 28 level. Then we broke down. We rallied back on Wednesday to the 78% level, and now we've had these little lower tops yesterday, and it appears that we're heading down towards the 5110 level. That would be a big ABCD pattern on the daily charts. Also, right now we're trading at 53 and change, so it's not very far away. The key level to watch here is if we break below 5220. That would give us a pretty good idea that we're ready to get down to that 5110 level. But believe me, folks, that Treasury bond chart is one ugly-looking chart from the bullish side. There's no question about it. Oh, I wanted to share something with you from one of our folks across the pond over there in Sweden, and I wanted to just bring this chart up to let you take a look at it, because this is the chart of the British pound last night. It was a 60-minute chart. You can see it right at that 78% level. Folks, we're now trading down at 130.170. That's a move of well over $700 in just a matter of a couple of hours. So that pattern certainly lined up perfectly at the 78% level. You had 2 ABCD patterns there, and you had a 78% retracement, and you had a 1.27 expansion, all coming in at the exact same price, which was 130.160. They don't all work that way, of course, but when they do, they certainly do look pretty, that's for sure. By the way, I was chatting with Norm Winsky this morning, and we're going to try to get him as a cameo appearance on December 3rd when we have Mercury going retrograde. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, since we've been talking about Tesla, I thought we'd just bring up the daily chart of Tesla to let you folks take a look at it. We had a request for it anyway. You can see we made a double top up there between May and June. We had the ABCD structure stopping exactly at the 61% retracement down there at 298, and since that time we've rallied up. The 382 on this comes in at 324, and basically that's very interesting. But what we're happening now is when you go down to a smaller time frame here with Tesla, you'll be able to see, just using a 60-minute chart, you'll be able to see some interesting things happening. You'll notice since that bottom we made down there at that 294, whatever it was, 293, you notice that each of those bottoms that we've had have been higher over the last, week, ever since the 7th of November. And now we're expanding up to the 1.618. We're also having a butterfly, that's a 3-drive pattern at the 78% level, coming in at around 326. Now, if this is correct, we shouldn't get above 331 in Tesla. The reason why I'm looking at that is because if it gets 1% higher than the target, we would assume that something is not right. Right now, it's $1.50 higher than that. We'll take a look at it. The wheat market, yes, I will take a look at the wheat market. Let's just see if we can do that right now, since I have the old wheat charts coming in here right now. Gold is starting. All we need to gold now is get it above 1288, folks, and it could be headed toward the finish line as starting an upward trend. Anyway, let's take a look here at the wheat here. We've got December wheat up. I think the best way to look at this is to look at it on a 4-hour chart. Yep, that's what we want to see, and we'll bring this up to you here in just 1 second here, as soon as we can get it lined up on the old chart page, and then we'll be okay, and hopefully we'll be able to see this. Looking at this wheat, you'll notice that we're down at this same level again. There should be a lot of support here in the wheat around that 416, and we're at 424 right now. What I'm going to do, folks, this is Friday. I know that's a big revelation to most of you astrology followers, and followed by Saturday, then by Sunday. But Saturday is the new moon, tomorrow. So I am going to wait till Monday to look to buy the wheat, the corn, and possibly even the soybeans. They're all lining up really nicely, and most especially the corn. The corn looks the as far as the technical picture, looks really great, and I'm going to be doing a special on that over the weekend. I'll be sending a video out on that one, and also including it in the newsletter, so you'll be able to see it unfold, because it does have some really good places to look, to try to find a tradable bottom, and it's very interesting. Like Jim Twentyman says, defy human nature. Do the work yourself, because it's got a chance. I'll share. Well, I better not do that. Let's just move on to the next one. Let's take a quick look here at what happened with the IWM yesterday. That's the one that, the small cap. I don't have it updated, but I can tell you that we got up to this 148 level, which is basically a perfect 61% retracement. If we don't have a lot of strength in the market today, all we had yesterday was a very, very strong rally based on what was happening with the taxes and stuff like that. So we'll see, see what is really going to happen, and that's it. The natural gas made a 3 drive to a bottom on the 60-minute yesterday. I didn't know that. Let's take a quick look at that, because I do like the natural gas. I've been focusing a lot on the hold on one second here to get this up so we can take a quick look at it here. Just a minute here. Okay, there's natural gas. We'll look at it on the hourly basis. Let's see what kind of a good eye you have here. Boy, I don't see that. Let me see. Yeah, we sure did. Good job, Buckaroo. That's a dandy. Yeah, that's spot on. That's got everything you could ask for. It's got the cycles coming in and everything. That's a really nice one. And not only that, but you pull back. So let's take a look at this. This is perfect, guys. Because we've been talking about this before. Oh, I missed this one. This was a nice one. Hold on one second here. We'll get it up here. This is the smaller one right here. You'll see that's the 305. But remember, look at the daily here. This is the one that we were watching a lot. Look at this, folks. We came within, let me see, we came within a half a cent of the exact 382 retracement, and we took out the low of November the 6th by a hair's breadth, and it didn't go. This thing's going higher. I tell you, your risk here is very, very small. It's below 305. Well, we're trading at 309 now, so it's already jumped quite a bit. But that you did exactly the right thing. Congratulations on finding that 3 drive pattern. I've been watching so darn many things. I just can't follow them on all. And I spent so much time on the wheat and the corn and the beans and crude oil and some of the others. I just missed this darn natural gas. But that did exactly what we expected it to. When we were talking about it last week, to buy it into that gap at the 382, and there it was. I mean, and if you looked at that 3 drive pattern, that's let me see who said that. That was a beauty. Whoever did that in the room, who did that? Who said the 3 drive? Who was that just gave me the information on the natural gas? Cam, thank you very much, Cam. That is Cam. You get a gold star, my friend. That is a beauty. That is as good as everything you could ask for in technical analysis, because you look at the daily and then you go down to the 60-minute to verify for it, and if you have the patience to wait, it had that 3 drive pattern. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a really nice one. And of course, when you add the fundamentals to it, Judge's ruling, we won't use the fundamentals. But anyway, that's what's happening with it. It looks pretty good. We'll keep following this to see if it continues to do what we think it'll do, and that means it should have one heck of a move here, on the upside. So we'll watch it. We're having a little bit of sell-off in stocks this morning, not very much. The S&P's selling into this opening this morning. Probably be another buying opportunity like it has been, through the years. But keep an eye on this gold market, folks. We're sitting right at the 78% level with a really strong move of, well, it's only $5, but if we could pop it above 1288, 1290, gold could have some legs here. It's really got it's got the technical picture to do it. And that's the $64 question, is whether it can follow through or not. That's the that's a thing that we have to really, pay very, very close attention to. That's my 2 cents worth. So we'll watch this as we go through. But I really appreciate Cam bringing this into the den. This is one of the advantages of being in the Tiger family and the Tiger Den. They share charts like this, and Mr. Z and Cam and Fletch and Gator, all these guys do a great job. I'm sure I missed the whole Marshall. I missed, and of course Mark P. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of people in here, but they do have some really great ideas. And when they do the idea, they always tell you, what the risk is and the caveats of, when you could be wrong and stuff like that. And being wrong is very important because you're going to be wrong a lot when you trade, because that's like breathing. Losses are like breathing. You can't trade without the without the breathing, and you got to remember that. That's a big thing. Okay, we've got to take a break here. We'll be right back with Rich Anderson of Anderson Capital Management.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Rich Anderson of Anderson Capital Management from Naples, Florida, on the line. Are you there,
Hi,
Rich?
Larry. I'm on Skype. How can you hear me?
Oh, you sound like you're right next door.
Okay, because your feedback, you break up a little bit when you come back, but I can hear you pretty good.
You might be circling in your Gulf Stream now, so just slow the plane down a bit. Hey, we got a question about cattle and hogs here, Rich. You want to cover that?
Sure. Well, the cattle, they went straight up as everybody was buying them. The open interest has gone up bunches. Basically, the hedge funds, algo traders, the grains have been rather boring. They aren't moving very much, so there's been some migration over to the cattle. And so you had a market that went up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days in a row, and went up about $12, $13. And open interest grew. I mean, if you had a chart, I don't have any charts to show you, but if you had one, you could see how that open interest grew.
I've got one in there right now, you betcha.
And then as it rolled over, well, all these guys that were buying as it went up, they've all now got a loss. The cash market's likely to, come back down to that starting point and shake all those guys out. The key thing that's going on is NAFTA. Trump is saying we want to modernize NAFTA, and there's some legitimacy to wanting to do that, but that's where a lot of our agricultural trade, in particular our growth in agricultural trade, has come from. And that's what's got these guys a little unnerved. And then you got the currency thing. The hogs, they went straight up after a bearish report back in February. They've been coming down here recently. I mean, I think December hogs were down 10 days in a row. I think that the December is likely to catch, but the February is too much of a premium. And so it may continue to come down. I mean, it hasn't been coming down until just a day or two ago. That's the way I'm looking at it. So if there was an opportunity, it'd probably be in the Decembers, and if you want to sell them, you sell the Februaries. And I'm kind of feeling that value level is back down. Maybe it's catches here on the cattle, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them go all the way back down to the starting point in that 115 area. We just have so many more hogs than we had a year ago, but we're exporting and selling a lot, and that's making a big difference.
Rich, we have a question here from one of our listeners about what's the cost of production for corn right now, given the fact that we're down below $3.40 a bushel, which we haven't seen that level for a very, very long time.
On the futures market, but if you're an actual farmer like me, or the other guys growing that stuff, what they're getting is a whole lot less than that, because the rivers were low, and so one of my friends that by Quad City, their tariff, their freight rate was virtually double, and that took another 30-40 cents a bushel out of the corn. So some of these guys, they're taking 50-60 cents under the board price. Now, as we come into spring and summer, that'll start to go up. But the cost of production, it depends on what kind of seed you plant. And these high-tech seeds that manage to produce these awesome crops, even though the weather's not perfect, you get a lot of money in the ground. And the big component there also is how much fertilizer you're going to use and what your rent costs are. For the old-time farmers that own the land forever, their land costs are very negligible. But if you're a young guy and you're paying these high cash rents, you're losing money. That's what you're losing $50 an acre to $100 an acre.
Wow. Rich, did your grandfather start your farm back in the Midwest where you lived, or was it your dad?
My great-grandfather did in the 1870s.
Great-grandfather shut the front door. Was he in the Civil War?
No, it was after the Civil War. It was in the 1870s. He immigrated from Sweden.
Wow.
Interesting that in Minnesota, I think the three most common names are Anderson, Larson, and Johnson.
Yeah. And of course Frankel now. Frankel's one of the most interesting Swedes of. I didn't think things like that happened in Minnesota. Rich, let's talk a little bit about the U.S. dollar and the soybean market. What are you hearing? And is the dollar going to bring in any buying for us here in the grains or not?
Well, a weak dollar should make our grains more attractive, but when you look at the price of soybeans, if you look at the price of the Dalian market, which is a much smaller futures market over in China, or the competition with South America in Brazil, unless they have weather problems, I think we're going to see this market go cheaper. But because the July, August is the critical growing time of the year for the U.S. crop. Down in Brazil, the critical growing time of the year will be the end of January through the 1st of March. And so that's what's keeping it up. But once we get through that, if there's no weather problems in South America, and there is La Nina right now, so we'll wait and see. I think the bean value is someplace down around $9, so there could be quite a bit more to the downside. The exception to the rule would be soybean oil, and our good friend is quite friendly to that soybean oil.
Yeah, there's some news on the soybean oil side said this week that was rather important, that there was a government ruling on something that changed the game a little bit. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know it as well as he would, but basically the determination is about biodiesel and
that's what it was. Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm on vacation, Lord, so
I understand. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for coming and joining us today, and I'll let you get back to your usual work and stuff. We'll have you on again soon, and I hope you get down to Florida to enjoy the warm weather and stay out of that cold weather out of the Minnesota area.
The key things to be watching are, whether we get some kind of a tax deal done, and that's going to probably, buy the rumor, sell the fact. They get a tax deal done. That'll probably be the good news that you sell in the stock market. If it even lasts that long, I kind of see it going down into the middle of December myself. But I thought maybe it'd peek its head up one more time on some positive news. There's some moderate Democratic senators that they might be able to pull over and not have to worry about Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. These are political things, and how can you trade political things?
It's pretty
difficult.
And
that affects the dollar and what the Fed does. There'll be an interest rate increase in December, but the real key is how they start to draw down the balance sheet, and that's the thing a person needs to watch more than anything.
That'll be good. Well, listen, thanks for joining us, Rich, and we'll have you on again soon, and my regards to you and your family. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Oh, thank you too. I'll be back home in December, and I'll be in all my machines then. All right, thank you.
You bet. Good. Rich Anderson Capital Management. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to put the chart of Microsoft here. If you'll notice here, we've been up here for almost 3 weeks now, and everybody that bought it that first day is now underwater, and we're closing near the low end of the range almost every day. Folks, if this thing gaps down Monday, it's going to leave an island reversal that's going to be in every textbook ever written, because it's got some really interesting things to look at. So pay really close attention to that one. That's got some really interesting possibilities for a really big move. And all it needs to do is just to gap down. It doesn't necessarily have to be Monday, but that would be the ideal time to do it. But if it leaves that island up there, then it would really be something. And if it doesn't, the risk there is really small. In other words, if it gaps down and then fills the island in, then you're looking at something that is not an island, and you just get out of it. So the loss at that point would be very, very small, and that's the whole key to trading. It's all about how much you have to risk, not how much money you're going to make. But the profit potential on this one could be really quite a bit. So we'll watch it quite a bit. Now, we got to give Cam some credit for his thing on the natural gas, his 3-drive pattern. But here again, he's talking to us again about heating oil. Let's just put it up here today. You'll notice that today's high at 1.9290 was exact 61% retracement with a high we made back on the 10th. It's a perfect A, B, C, D structure, as you can see. That makes it a Gartley pattern. It's already made the first profit objective of 2 cents. So this has got some possibility, and because this is the first A, B, C, D correction, and if this is a bear market, and we're not sure of that yet, then you've got a really good chance that this thing could have some pretty good move to the downside. The $64 question here is that you don't want it to get above that 61% retracement again, because after you have that profit potential in your bag, you don't want to mess around with it and let it get away from you, because then you're looking at some real serious things that could be really very, very dangerous, and you don't want to do that. But we've made new highs this week in the Dow Jones. I believe we made new highs in the NASDAQ, and we didn't quite make them in the S&P, but we didn't even come close in the what we call it, the Russell. So that's telling us that we're looking at something that could be And maybe that's just a bounce back from the euphoria of the tax bill coming in. And believe me, that tax bill is going to be changed so many times we won't even be able to recognize it when it finally comes up. Let me give you the put the Russell 2000 up here so you can take a look at it, because this is the but good job today, Cam. You really should get a gold star. Here's the big rally. Notice the important thing here on the Russell, and this could be extremely important, folks. This could mean we could have a whole other leg up here. We filled the gap from September the 25th. We did come in and we filled that gap. And look where it hit, exactly at the 382 of the low from the eclipse that we had down here, the solar eclipse. So that's a really important spot here. So you just got to be really careful here. You just don't. This thing could really go. I mean, there's no reason why it can't go higher. I mean, I don't know the fundamentals, but if we expatriate all that money that's out there from these the folks that own all this stuff, then this market could go one heck of a lot higher. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's just my thoughts, and so you don't want to pay too much attention to it. Just keep an eye on some of these things that look really interesting, and especially the gold at this. We stopped right at that 78% level at 1286. We really need that to get above there, and then you've got a chance to see the market have a pretty good move to the upside in gold. It's got a chance, and maybe it's not going to be till Monday. Maybe it's not going to be ever, but at this level, it's got a chance. The problem is silver is acting so weak that it's just doesn't seem to be in the cards for today. But boy, this is early, and believe me, when that thing changes, it's just a heartbeat away from something that could be really, really spectacular. So it really needs to clear that 1288. And then I think it's got a pretty good chance of, making a really serious move. I wanted to bring up Bitcoin one more time because this is what we talked about last week when we had that 3-drive pattern, which is one of my favorite patterns. You can see the 3-drive pattern when we were at 7,800. This was right near the bottom of that channel that we had down in here. That's when we were chatting with John Jameson, and he was saying how bullish he was, and it should hold that level. And we went above 8,000 last night, folks. So something's big is happening with blockchain stuff. I don't know exactly what it is. It's quite a bit over my pay grade, but something big is really happening with these things. And John says it's the internet like it was in 1990. So we'll see. There's not a blockchain ETF, but we're going to have. No, I'm not trading I'm not trading Bitcoin, but I am watching it. I've been watching it now for 3 weeks, and it's certainly tradable. It trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it's on the, it's on the internet. There's just a lot of things that you have to understand that make it a little bit different. But John has explained it to me in such a way that you have to pay attention to this, because it's like the internet was in 1995 and 96. I remember when I first moved here to Tucson, it was just getting started, and somebody here in Tucson who was really smart with internet drugged me into it. And you can just about trade anything. But the Merc is coming out, the CME is coming out in the second week of December, which is a couple weeks, about a month away. They're going to come out with futures first, and then they will start with the options, on that. And believe me, if the CME, if the Merc is looking at this, this is serious, because they will bring people in, and this will give people that want to get into the bit mining business and give them a place to hedge their positions and stuff. So it should be a pretty big contract. I remember in 1982 when the Merc came out with the really explosive S&P 500 contract, which was a big contract. They were $500 a point, not $50 a point. They couldn't get anybody into the pit. It was trading at 103. And they had Leo Malamed had to come into the T-bill pit and gold pit and pull traders out. He said, just go in there, and he said, pretend like you're trading. He said, we got to get a picture for the newspaper. And there was just nothing going on. And then that was 82. And then in August the 9th of 1982 was the big bottom. It started trading on April the 16th, and then on August the 9th, that was the big bottom in the S&P, and from there, it's never looked back. Leo Malamed, M-E-L-M-O-D, Malamed, is what he is. He's Lebanese, really a super nice guy. All you have to do is just go ahead and you can Google him, because he's the one that started the Merc to its meteoric rise. He brought in the currencies, he brought in the S&P, he brought in Jenny Mays, he brought in gold, T-bills, all of that stuff, and that's why it bigs. And he gets, you're not going to believe this, but I think he gets 1/1000th of a penny for every trade that's done. Figure that out, guys. 1/1000th of a penny for every trade that's done. And in parlance, that's a lot of money. 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Basil Chapman has just announced a special subscriber event taking place Monday, November 20th from 5 till 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What can you anticipate for 2018? In this 90-minute webinar for subscribers to Basil's daily trading newsletter, The Opening Call, he will be discussing a variety of topics for the coming year, including, can high techs continue to lead? Will the financials be affected by yields, and where will yields be in 2018? The chances for inflation or deflation? What stocks could be affected or weakened in the coming year, as well as Basil's long-term outlook for the dollar and gold, as well as many other topics. For all the details and to sign up for a 30-day free trial to The Opening Call, visit the front page of TFNN.com today. With nothing to risk, this is a great time to try out Basil's daily trading newsletter. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we've got a caller from Dallas, Texas. Kenner, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing this morning?
I'm pretty good. What can I do for you, my friend?
Well, before you ended your show, I wanted to tell the listeners and tell you that there has been a filing for an ETF. And while I was waiting during the 2 minutes, I was searching for my link to it because I found it 2 days ago. It's Simplicity Shares is the name of the ETF provider. They have 4 little ETFs, and they're going to add another one. And they filed on November 2nd. The filing was dated November 2nd on the SEC. You can find it It uses a rule called Rule 485, where they can leverage to get the ETF in place in 75 days from the filing. They filed it on November 2nd, 2017, which means that the 75-day after filing rule pursuant to paragraph A/2 of Rule 485 allows them to open up if it gets approved on 1/15/2018.
Wow, so that's going to be an ETF for Bitcoin.
It looks like it's an index for Bitcoin, not for Bitcoin itself, and it lists 5 players in the Bitcoin market.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's going to be a big thing if they're starting to do that, and I really appreciate that information. I never heard that before. So
that's right. I found it just 2 days ago, but it's on. People can find it. I was looking for the link and couldn't find it because I wasn't prepared to talk about it this morning. I had to go do some real quick searching. It's Simplicity Shares, I think. November 2nd. I can't find everything. I'm in too big a hurry.
Well, listen, at least you lit up the lamp, and that's the most important thing. So we'll have
75 days from November 2nd when they made the filing, and it's Rule 485. I don't know anything about it. People who know more about it than I do can tell me what that means. But it's paragraph A/2 allows them to get approval within 75 days, and they filed it on November 2nd, which means 75 days is Monday morning, 1/15/18.
Hey, thanks for calling in, my friend. I appreciate it.
Okay, doke.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. See you Monday, folks.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.